Hello, one person. Hey, Shannon.
Well, I came back on. I was on earlier today. Hey, Val. And I was talking about Gene Heckman because none of it made sense to me. And they ruled out so far carbon monoxide. The only thing I came up with a little bit earlier is his wife might have seen him down on the floor and passed. Maybe she was distraught and took pills, and that's where the pills came in. And the dog was in the crate, but maybe it was in the crate and she didn't let it out because she was so distraught that it starved to death. That's all I can think of. Gracie, get over here right now. Come here. Now, they were sleeping and they were fine. As soon as I get on here, they start. Gracie, come here now. Come here.
Hi, Mups. Hi, Val. Shannon.
12 people. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll know more when the autopsies are done.
But I don't know why her pills
Were like laying all over.
you know? And he might have had a heart attack.
I mean, he was 95 because he had his sunglasses by him and a cane. So he could have been getting ready to go out or just came in and fell. And then she saw him.
I mean, because
they said that they were becoming mummified. So they were there for some time.
And their other two dogs
Were outside and they were fine.
But that's the only thing I think of
as far as the dog, I mean, if let's say that scenario does pan out, she could have been so upset when she saw him
and
then went in and took pills. See, because they didn't say what the pills were.
you know? Yeah. It gets cold there.
And there weren't any houses around them. They were kind of secluded.
Yeah, that's true.
That she wouldn't have tried to call 911. The whole thing is just bizarre.
I heard
that she just recently had a liver transplant. I don't know if that's true. Who knows? I mean, people are going to start coming up with all kinds of.
You know what I mean? So I'm not sure. But it's sad. Really sad. And
he was 95 and she was 63, going to be 64, I believe. So that's that over a 30-year difference. Hi, Floor.
Hi, Irene.
We're just talking about Gene Hackman and his wife and dog.
Really sad.
They said they are going to perform autopsy. I mean, I don't know. They're surmising that they were like that for a week or two. But I guess they can get things from like the bones and tissue, you know?
Hi, Elman. Hi, Heads. Hi, 22 people.
If you could hit that thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. It'll help with my algorithm. But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is so strange. What I didn't understand and what I said today on my live earlier, when they right away say foul play, if it were me, I wouldn't have said that. I would have just said that they're investigating it. You know what I mean? I mean, from the looks of it, yes, there was nothing because there was no, you know, like gunshots or blunt force trauma or anything like that.
But I would wait.
I don't know.
The actress that died had
liver transplant, Michelle. Okay, so people were getting her mixed up with Jean's wife. Okay. All right, thanks, Mups.
But a lot will make sense
when we find out what pills those were in the bathroom with her. Hi, Terry.
Oh, really?
Because I just heard that they are going to do oddies. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I mean,
carbon
monoxide, I mean, that makes sense, wouldn't it? But the fire department came in, the police came in, they checked the house, they had the gas company come out, pipes for gas leaks, and all of it came back clean, that there was no leaks.
I think Hackman, isn't
Hackman a Jewish surname?
Yeah, Mupp said there's going to be a
Press conference tomorrow. Oh, he was in a lot of good movies.
Well, the other two dogs
Weren't inside. The other two dogs were outside. It was only the one dog that was in the little kennel cage.
And the door was open.
The door wasn't locked, the door was open to where you could just go.
Yeah, but maybe they didn't
talk all the time, you know? Maybe they didn't live close to them and they didn't talk all the time. I don't know.
Oh, you're welcome, Irene. Every time I think of the name
Irene, I always want to go Irene, and the Pocahini. I don't know why.
Hi, Carol Clark.
How are you?
Because when
the maintenance went to the house, because those are the ones that called the police to tell him, because they could see his wife through the window. And through the window, he was able to tell she was gone. So I don't know what he saw, but he knew she was gone. But the dogs were barking a lot that were outside. So I'm wondering if they were barking. But again, they didn't live around people, you know, they were secluded.
you know, poor little dog. Well,
They're all German shepherds, but so sad.
but I saw a picture
And I can't remember where we saw it. I saw it today of him.
You wouldn't even know it was him. I mean, he got,
he's 95. So, he got a lot older looking.
I saw a picture of his wife.
She looked older, but you could tell it was her. But him, had I not known it was him, would never have known. It just didn't look like him anymore.
Hi, Mary Tackett.
Mary Tackett. What does that mean, mummified? I know. I'm sure they'll be okay.
My acting up again.
All right.
He looked very frail,
Yes. And he did have a good long life. Hi, Nightmare.
Preserved. Well, how can your body be
preserved if you've just laid there? Wait a minute, I don't understand that. Wait a minute, because normally, now wait a minute, that puts a whole other spin on it. Because if you, instead of decomposition as it laid there,
it was
preserved.
So who preserved it?
Okay, now I've got the heebie-jeebies.
We're praying for Mary.
Please say a prayer for my son, Zachary. He's in need of mental health services. I'm very worried.
Oh, for sure, Mary.
Are you around him? Does he live close to you?
Yeah, Carol, dried out.
You know what? How stupid of me.
Guys, wait a minute. I mean, if the
body was mummified,
now my mind's going a mile
a minute. Can you hear me okay now, Shannon?
Okay, Mary, yes, we definitely
We'll be praying.
I don't know that
AC would do the job.
Oh,
okay, Terry, so
manufacturers could
affect the mummification process, but the most important ones are dry air, good ventilation, solar radiation, high temperature. Okay, so does that mean that people,
when you die,
if you're left out in the right element, that mummification will set in instead of decomposition? Am I understanding that right?
yeah, they said they were there for
1 or 2 weeks.
Because
the autopsy, they said it would 4 to 6 weeks for a lot of it to come back.
wow, that is
wild. That's crazy.
Okay, so it doesn't.
Doesn't mean that there isn't any, okay.
Wow. Oh boy.
We'll have to be listening, because Muppet said there's gonna be a, they're gonna have a,
They're gonna come on the news.
tomorrow with some more information, maybe?
It is strange. That's right, Shannon.
No one had seen them for the last couple of weeks.
Wow.
So what have you been up to? What's everyone been up to for the last couple days? Have you been watching anything good? I'm going to Jason's Sunday. We're going to watch the Oscars together. Some people are coming to his house.
Yeah, Valerie, maybe they
Did. Who knows, you know?
Yeah, there was a space heater
In the bathroom. Oh my gosh, I watched 1923 too, the new one. Isn't it good, heads?
Thanks, Irene.
And then Monday, we're going to go to the movie, because we do that every year. After the Oscars, we go to the movies the next day. We're going to see, because my grandson's, he doesn't have school that Monday. We're all going to go see Paddington. So that should be cute. And my daughter-in-law just got home from the hospital, his mother, Jason's wife, 4 days ago. And remember I told you he was in the hospital off and on it seemed like every week? Well, she had, can you guys hear me okay?
She had some of her intestines
Intestine taken out and reconnected because there was a lot of scarring. Okay, good. And so we're praying, please, that this takes and that she doesn't have to go through that pain anymore. She was in the hospital. I'm not joking. It seemed like every other week. And she got to the point she couldn't eat anything because there would be a blockage. I want to see Last Breath. That's supposed to be really good. Was it good, Shannon?
That's the one with Woody Harrelson, right?
Right.
Oh, it was only an hour and a half. Kenny's dad had that done.
And now he's good? Oh, I hope that this works for her. And they said that it didn't look like there was any cancer, which is good. They still did a biopsy, of course. But from the look of it, it looked like there was no cancer.
And you guys, you know that
Wendy and I were talking about doing a podcast. What do you guys think of that?
he passed from old age, but not from that. I got a new phone.
I just keep waiting, thinking, okay, I'll wait a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer, and maybe they'll put something worthwhile in the new iPhones, you know. I just keep trying to wait.
Yeah, do you think that might be fun, you guys?
Guys, because we're going to talk about just all kinds of stuff.
Oh, thanks, Muppets.
I know, I just pray to God that this does the trick, because she could not keep going on like she was going on. It was awful.
Yeah, we're
About all kinds of stuff. Nothing in particular. I mean, it's not going to be well, most podcasts aren't. I mean, they talk about everything, but we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, family stuff, when she first came into the family, crafting stuff, cooking. Jeremy will come on once in a while, I'm sure. And, different family members or different friends or whatever. Oh yeah, you'll be laughing when Jeremy's on there.
Oh, yeah, for sure, that
Too. And Shannon. And so when I was over there this past weekend, we were talking. I said, okay, so we have to get our microphone, our microphone and our headphones, because we can do a podcast also when we aren't able to be together to do them. I mean, sometimes I'll go over there on the weekend and we'll, knock out a few of them, right? But you can also do podcasts, because I watch people that do podcasts and they're not even in the same state, but they're doing their podcast, you know? And I think I'll use, do you like the idea of that, Flor? Good.
I lost my train of thought.
Well, this is going to be good. Can you imagine? What was I just saying?
Oh,
I think I'll use StreamYards.
oh yeah, do it in the
Kitchen. Thank you, Carol. I know you're kidding, Val.
Yeah.
But Jeremy, he'll have some good stuff about cooking. That's where you guys we'll do a question, a Q&A about cooking, because I'll tell you what, that guy is very, very good and knows a lot. And we'll have Aubrey on, because Aubrey was there that day, and I said, Aubrey, would you want to come on? She goes, yeah, I'll come on. No, you're fine, Val. Yeah, no, he would have some really good points. Because it's easier when you're bouncing off somebody, you're talking about a subject, and to bounce off one another. I mean, because she's been around for 30 years. I mean, she's like just kids, you know what I mean?
And I'm sure we'll talk
About work when I used to work, and she's still working, of course. And, just different subjects. And you guys, what you guys could do too? I just thought of this. In the comments section below, when, where your comments are, when we get off, you can down some questions that you guys, or subjects you guys might to hear us talk about. That would help us too. That's what I think too, Flor. It is easier when there's two people. I need 10 I need 10 screens. But yeah, so I already picked out the headphones that I want, and then gonna get some, and like I said, and then we need our mics.
Hi, Nancy Drew. How are you?
Everyone is doing well. It was so hot here today. I was filming, doing a video. I have to finish it tomorrow, but I was painting something and the paint was drying so fast. It was 81 here today, and I'm not ready for it.
And my son's
house sold. I told the girls that were on earlier today, his house sold, and they're going to stay here till the kids are out of school in June, and they're going this week
to look for a house.
in Tennessee.
This will be like the
Fifth time there.
You're ready for
81? Ugh. I want it to be cool, Val.
I would love to move
to Tennessee. I was talking to Jason last night. I go, Jason, what do you think about moving? And he goes, well, I don't know that Daniela would. And I said, yes, she would. I've already talked to her. If I could get them all to go. I was talking to my grandson this weekend when I was at Jeremy's. They went there, those little son of a guns. Him and his girlfriend, they went to Tennessee a few months back to look. If I could get them to go, you guys, I would go in a heartbeat. I'm not kidding. Oh, his house sold. It wasn't on the market. It wasn't even on the market a week and a half. And he had quite a few offers, and he got even more than what he was asking. Yeah, I have people that I've known that's moved down there too, Nancy. So yeah, I really would. I would go. Yeah, it is cheaper in Tennessee. It's getting more expensive because a lot of people are moving there. It still is a lot less than California. California is so expensive, you guys. I'm not joking. That's what my son said and my grandson said. He said it's gorgeous. He said it really is pretty. And he said the people are very nice there. Yeah. So expensive. New Jersey is not cheap either, Irene. Yeah, our taxes are high. Gas is high. Food. Everything. But it's not all the expenses that people are most of the time. I mean, you're gonna get jerks. I mean, anywhere you go, right? That's a given. But overall, because like I said, Josh, they've been there quite a few times now. And every time, and they've gone into different areas, and they said the people are so nice. Hey, crazy, how's your son? Oh, Shannon. Don't even get me started on eggs. Good grief. Do you know what my grandson gave his girlfriend? They've been together for years. They're going to be getting married. But I asked her, I go, what did Daniel get you, Chelsea, for Valentine's? She said, oh, he got me the best thing ever. And she was serious. She goes, he got me eggs. I go, what? I thought she was kidding at first. She wasn't. She goes, I was never so thrilled in life. And he got her other stuff, but I guess it was supposed to be kind of a joke, but to her it wasn't a joke. She was so thankful. He's a miracle, crazy. You know? No two ways about it. I love it. Val calls you life, call you crazy. You put it together and you got crazy life. Can you hear old snore over there? Your sister's birthday's next week. Thanks for the idea. Eggs. You better believe it. Did you know that they have Rent-A-Chicken now? And I'm not joking. Did you guys see that on the news? Little boy gave his teacher eggs for Valentine's. How cute. I know. How romantic. I know. You'd have to know these two. They are a trip.
Yes, he is. He's
Different. He's not the same way he was before the accident. He's much slower than he used to be speed-wise, but he's doing good. Thank God. Thank goodness. Yeah, rent a chicken.
they can keep up with
The eggs, you lucky duck. So they're probably not very expensive for you, right, Valerie?
how cute.
If you want to spruce up your egg present, put a little hat and coat on it and fancy shoes. Yeah, they have rent-a-chicken. And it comes with everything. It comes with, I think, 4 chickens. Don't you need a rooster, though, too? Maybe a rooster was one of them. Anyway, I know. Can you hear that, Nancy? Snoring? Would it be alive if there wasn't a dog snoring in my life?
You know, Dana,
That's a good point. That's a very good point. She said, I don't understand why eggs are expensive, but chicken is still at the same price.
you'd want to rent.
Alpacas and donkeys, too.
Why did the egg
Fail its driving test. He liked the accelerate too much. That's a good one. Daveda, young love, I'm sure they're adorable. Oh yeah, they're a trip to watch. Which came first, chicken or the egg? Well, I'm thinking the chicken, because everything was put here, right? And then from there, they started having babies. I know Carol's like white noise, isn't it? She can really get loud, though. I mean, really. Well, you have experienced it. Yeah, you need a rooster. I spoke to the neurologist that saw him in ICU, comment, the same one that told me. Do you know, I was thinking about that. And remember, didn't they even say didn't think he was going to make it? If you know, and that's the thing. If you always listen to a doctor, forget about it. Meaningful again, and he was speechless.
is he walking now?
Oh,
Doggy snoring.
adorable though.
Yes, it's Angie.
Snoring heads.
Isn't that great, Mup?
That he's doing so good.
It comes to the
Brain, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just a miracle. It's a miracle. No two ways about it.
walking.
Talking, hanging. Oops.
My friend had a heart attack.
Attack and was dead for 47 minutes? The doctor had called it. Then he woke up and had no deficits. Yes, it is. Yes, I'm so happy to hear that. He's walking, talking. Listen to this. He's walking, talking, hanging out with friends, and even looking to get back to work. That is crazy. You need to write a book. You need to write a book.
Okay, wait a minute, Shannon.
And they called your friend deceased. He was dead for 47 minutes. Where was he when he came back to life? Was he in the morgue?
I mean, that's a miracle, too.
Right there. Now, how can it happen? Because there's no oxygen getting to the brain, right?
That's definitely
A miracle.
and absolutely
Nothing wrong when they woke up. Did he go to heaven or anything or see anything, Shannon, while he was out?
Gracie, she's
Fine, just leave her alone. She was laying there.
That bed's big enough for both.
He was still in his room because they were waiting for hospice daughter to come. His wife made them wait.
Wow. The funny thing is
That his core memories kind of stopped around 12 to 13 years old, although he remembers bits and pieces after that.
okay, so
He doesn't remember anything from 13 on, really.
they called it.
They came to pick him up and they moved him. He was crying. Wait a minute, did I miss something with Valerie? Did she have a story? Wait.
Probably would I
Yes.
Shannon, did he
See anything? You know how people say when they die that they see loved ones and all that? Oh, from the show, TV show MASH. Okay.
actually believe it's
All the prayers. Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that prayers.
Have you ever thought of writing a book?
Crazy?
I would. I wish hell got moved. Do you know Florida?
Are you still there?
He does here and there, but when
He's telling stories about the past centered around the age, although he remembers random stuff after that. But you know what? That could come back in time, you know? I mean, look how far he's come already.
you're not sure, my sister-in-law
Was in a coma and she heard, oh, yes. The hearing is the last sense to go when you're dying. When I flew up to see him and I prayed with him,
I knew
he heard me.
I knew
He was hearing me because when I said one certain thing, he had flinched and he didn't even move before that. Not a tiny bit. He kind of flinched. And after I was done praying with him, the nurses said, we're going to make him more comfortable. Well, I knew what they were doing. And so we went out into the waiting room, and about a half hour later, they came out and they said he's gone. So, but I knew he heard me.
but 47
Minutes.
he didn't remember anything.
Thing. However, when he was 5 years old, he fell out of a moving car and hit his head open. Wasn't expected to live. Then ever since, he says he has visions of things happening. Okay, I have heard about that too. When people have died and come back, they see vision things and almost like premonitions of things at times. Because, you know, we only use a very small part of our brain. There's so much of the brain that isn't even tapped into.
I do think
that when things like that happen, sometimes it does something to the brain, certain parts of it that start letting people see things, experience things. I really do believe that. Same thing with LSD, okay? When people take that, they see things, but that's another part of the brain that sometimes, I mean, it's not like you want to take it, but I mean, you do see things, right? But very part of our brain do we even use?
Didn't Shannon say?
Her friend died. Yes, she did say that for 47 minutes. That's nuts. Because no oxygen's getting to the brain.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy. It's just crazy.
Yep, I'm watching
Warrior again on Netflix. It's really good. Second time I'm watching it. And then we watched the new 1923, which is supposed to be for Yellowstone. It's like his great grandmother and great grandfather, if you will, Kevin Costner in the series Yellowstone. That's really good. Haven't seen any movies from the Oscars. I'm just going because I see what they're wearing and see who wins. I've been reading up on them. I do want to see Last Breath that Shannon was talking about. That's supposed to be good. It's a true story.
And I'm trying to think of
The other ones that are nominated.
I went to college
With him, and he never mentioned that to any of our crowd. Then, many years later, after his heart attack, he called and asked to go to lunch and told me some crazy stories, including 9/11, who was on YouTube. She does true crime, and a woman walking around in a white dress, she talks about the Watts case. I told her it's Shannon Watts. Wow. Incredible, Shannon. He told his girlfriend 3 days before 9/11 that something devastating was going to happen to some buildings. See?
1883.
Oh my gosh, Carol, that was such a good series.
I do believe
When some people, when they have these horrific things happen, and where they're basically, well, not basically, Shannon's friend was clinically dead. And Crazy's son, he was on the brink of death's door. I do believe that a lot of times people, when they start to recover, when they do recover, they start to see things that they haven't seen before, or they have premonitions, and it's just another part of that brain that opens up.
you and me both.
Carol, I'll go ahead and share them with you.
Your lunch lasted
3.5 hours that day. I was late catching a plane because I couldn't leave. I would have been the same way. I would have wanted to hear everything.
the veiled lips. I'm
Convinced. Yep, I agree, heads.
I wonder why we
Can't use more of our brain. You know what I mean?
I do think
So for some people that do have premonitions or see things or feel things,
I do believe it. I believe it
because I've seen things and I've experienced things, and my grandmother has, and my daughters, they have, you know.
and I know some of
You have experienced.
I don't take that lightly.
What I mean? I do believe people see things and experience things. That'll be one of the things we do on the podcast, because Wendy has also seen things, because her and I were talking about it. One time we were in the car together and we were talking about like the paranormal, and I've got to talk to her about that, because we want to write down certain things. That's why I want you guys, don't forget to put it in the comments. Put down things that you'd like us to talk about, okay? Don't forget, because that'll help us. But I got to remember to tell her that we need to talk about the incidents that we have experienced, and we can have people, uh, you know, comment on what they've seen as well.
Or dreams.
Yes, Carol. Yeah.
Yep. Have a
A lot of you experienced things?
Yeah, I
Believe that, Irene. When you're in tune with,
I don't know how to put it into words.
but I know what you're saying. People that are sensitive, that, oh, I don't think of the right word, but I mean, I saw things as a young kid, and they were very real, and even older.
You have dreams.
Dreams while awake?
Dreams and signs.
For sure I have. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good
Subject to talk about.
Both in dreams and while
Awake, get vibes about. Oh yeah, me too. Yep.
you get lots of signs
From your dad. I got another one. I was telling the girls today on my live. I got another, because I've been thinking a lot about Tanya, because unfortunately we're coming up on it. And
I was just
reminiscing and thinking back on stuff, and I was cleaning out another big envelope where I had cards and stuff. And this, just like that letter that I found months back, this card fell into my lap, and it was from her. And there was a picture of her.
And I believe that
you get those when you need them,
Can you believe she's
going to be gone 7 years? I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
I just can't. When I was 22,
I was driving in town, and coming up on a green light, I heard a voice say, "Stop." Without question, I stopped at the green light, and car came flying through. The red would have hit me. Oh my gosh.
Yep, 7 years.
Shannon.
Once when sleep.
The voice told me 3-digit lottery. So when I woke up, I told my sister. She called me back and said it came out before I called. Wow. I was alone in the car. I heard the voice in my head. It was a man's voice. He said, "Only stop." And without question, I did.
It stayed with me forever. I saw the lights blink.
Get a train cross before they actually did. Then a train came. Wow. Oh, I think these are so interesting.
I worked with a
girl. This'll get you. I worked with a girl at the grocery store. She was another checker. And we were talking one time about what we're talking about right now. And she was on the freeway this one time. Her kids, I think she only had her one child at the time. She had two kids, but only one was with her. And she was on the freeway. She got in an accident, and it spun her car over to the the side, and she was scared to get out, and so stayed in her car. She said this guy came over to the side, and he goes, "You need to get out of your car." And he said, and it was her son, and he said, "And get your son." So she got out of the car. She turned to look at him, and he was gone. And right as she turned to look to thank him, the car caught on fire. She goes, "Daveda, it was an angel." She said, "Because he was gone. He was gone." And she said, "He came up to my window and said, 'Get out of the car.'" Isn't that something?
Yep. And like she
said, she goes, "I'll never forget it. I will never forget it." I know, right, heads?
Wait till I tell you my story.
It's on the podcast. It'll blow your mind.
Oh, I believe in
angels. Time. Big time. Most definitely.
I believe they're around us all
the time.
My dreams are no
different than real life. Touch, feel, smell. Wow. You have to look for the signs. They are there. Yeah, they are, Shannon, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have
3 of them actually 4 that are really something. And Wendy's got some real doozies. Wait till you hear hers.
I love these stories.
I have a few. When Mother passed, she spoke of the angels.
Well, I'll tell you this
one right now, and then I'll say it again on the podcast. But I told you that, my family was like that, and we've all been able to see things and have premonitions. Well, anyway, this one morning, my kids were little. They were in elementary school, and I was up and I was getting them ready for school. And my mother called me and she said, and it was early, and that was not like her. She never got up early in the morning. She always slept. She was up late. And she said, "You need to go in and you need to check the boys' wall in their bedroom."
and I said,
"Okay, all right." Well, and she goes, "No, you need to go do it." And I said, "Okay, I'm getting them ready for school." I said, "I'll come back when I get home and I'll, check it." And she said, "I had a dream." And she said, their whole wall went up in flames. Okay, so I'm making and I remember this vividly. I was making scrambled eggs. And so, I got them ready for school. They ate their breakfast, took them to school, came back, and I had forgotten about it. So I was doing the dishes, and then, because, in the morning I would go in, I would, how you do, you do your dishes, you make the beds, da-da-da. Okay. Well, my boys, their room was set up kind of like the Brady Bunch, because there was a bunk bed and then one twin, okay, because the 3 of us slept in the same room. So I was putting my hand to the wall to push down the comforter, because the bunk beds were against the wall. And when I put my hand against the wall to bring down the comforter, the wall was so hot where the electrical plug was that it burnt the back of my hand. And then I remembered what she had told me, and I went, "Oh my God." So I called the fire department. I had 4 firemen in this little bedroom. They cut off the electricity of that particular outlet. And the fireman said, it's a good thing you felt that, because if you wouldn't have, he said that whole wall would have went up. And it's exactly what she called and told me. Exact. Can you believe that?
Exact. You have to be open
and accepting of spirits. Close yourself off, they won't come. Yeah, I wanted to hug Dad, so I kept thinking about hugging him. Then I dreamt of him. A voice in my dream told me, he's right there, hug him. Oh, how cool.
My mom passed away
when I was 7, and she sent me angels. I saw some of them. I'll never forget it. My husband went through what he did last month. He was somehow awake under general anesthesia, and he saw a lot of things and a lot of people, and he's not one who usually believes.
Your husband had
surgery? Crazy?
Did he tell you what he saw?
Huh?
You'll have to tell us
sometime. I've got to get StreamYard. Well, I'm going to have to get StreamYard started anyway because of the podcast. Hey, Flora, can I do a podcast on StreamYards?
He had internal
bleeding and had to undergo emergency surgery. Oh my gosh, is he okay now? I can, Florida? Okay, good. Yeah, I've got to do that so people can come up and talk like they do on Florida's.
What made him know
he had internal bleeding? Was he hurting crazy?
He saw his grandmother
and see? He heard things, a lot of crazy stuff that I would not expect coming from him. Oh my gosh. Man, I'd be picking his brain right now. God.
Wow, that's crazy. StreamYard or
Zoom. Okay, I'll StreamYard because you can do that for free. Yes, he's good now. Wow.
Gosh, he saw his
grandparents.
Hi, Peggy.
How are you?
Wow, that is
nuts, you guys. He passed out in the bathroom. They thought he was having a heart attack when we came in the ambulance, and then just started gurgling, gurgling blood out of, oh dear God. He was gurgling blood of every crevice when we got to the hospital. Oh dear Lord. I'm doing good, Peggy. I hope you are.
Oh, thank you, Peggy. Wow.
That's crazy.
Florida, are you going
live tomorrow?
I held someone's
belt and I knew he buried something in his yard afterwards. He said his dog had passed. I just buried him in their yard.
Wow.
Okay, Florida's going live tomorrow, guys.
So what's everyone
tomorrow during the day?
That is true. It doesn't kill you, does it?
Make you stronger, just long.
I have to do
grocery shopping tomorrow morning. Ugh, I don't want to, but I have to.
I guess I'll go.
Oh, I'm gonna take the dogs out. I shouldn't have said that. Now they're both looking at me. Doggone it. Why did I do that? When my daughter was 6, a friend passed away with whom she was close. She was singing and stopped, looked at me at the exact time he passed, and my friend died. Oh my gosh. Peggy, that's nuts.
I want to pray real quick.
For Mary Tackett's son and everyone else, almost midnight there, nighty night. It's great to see everyone alive. Get to bed. No, I'll just surf the internet. Father, we just come before you and we ask you to be with Mary's son. Lord, you know what he needs. You know what he's going through. Just touch him now and send your angels around him. Father, I ask you to be with everybody in here right now. Send your angels around each and every one, each individual. You know all of their needs. You know what they're going through. Father, we just thank you for who you are and that you send your angels to be around us at all times to protect us. We see this and what happened with Crazy's son. We thank you so much that he is pressing beautifully and that her husband's all right. Father, thank you for all these women. Thank you for all that have come into our lives and just made it that much richer. Father, go before us now and keep us safe. It's in your son's name we pray. Amen.
All right, guys. Remember,
The world's a better place because you're in it. Don't ever forget that. There's only one you, and you bring something to this world nobody else can. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Love you. Oh, and tomorrow, if I hear anything different about Jean, I'll come on live. Love you guys.